This episode is brought to you by Liquid IV. Whether you're working out, side on your tan, or running errands at the perfect pace, Liquid IV powder keeps you going with 2 times faster hydration than water alone. Because real life is extreme enough. Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Buy a stick in store or at liquidiv.com with the code podcast for 20% off your order.
This episode is brought to you by La Quinta by Wyndham. Wherever your work takes you, you know it's going to be a good time because you're staying at La Quinta by Wyndham. They have free breakfast, fully equipped gyms, and free high-speed Wi-Fi to help you take care of any last-minute business or help keep you in the know on all things sports. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you triumph. Book your stay today at lq.com.
This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 2184. How Protein and Fiber Will Change Your Body, Part 1, by Rachel Trotta of racheltrotta.com. And I'm Dr. Neil Malik. Happy Monday and welcome to another edition of Optimal Health Daily, where I read some of the best blogs covering health and fitness, just like an audiobook, and always with a bit of my commentary at the end. Now, we have a bunch of shows narrating blogs. Just search for Optimal Living Daily to find all of them. Now, today's post is a bit longer than what I typically narrate, so I'll read the first half today and then finish it up for you tomorrow. So with that, let's get right to the first half as we optimize your life. How Protein and Fiber Will Change Your Body, Part 1, by Rachel Trotta of racheltrotta.com. I've looked at a lot of food logs. I've seen many different styles of eating based on the client's age, geographic region, culture, and tastes. But whether someone is a 60-year-old woman from the Midwest or a 30-year-old man from Brooklyn, 2 common themes consistently emerge: protein and fiber. In many cases, people don't eat enough of either nutrient. Most people's diets are excessively high in carbohydrates and fat, without the solid, slow-burning, health-promoting building blocks of protein and fiber. It's easy to think that this only happens when people are classically unhealthy, eating junk food, never preparing food for themselves, living on drive-through meals, and so on. But it also happens when people try to lose weight because they often start eating less and cutting carbohydrates and other foods that they perceive to be bad or high in calories. This often cuts both fiber and protein from their diets. This often leaves people running hungry from meal to meal, with high levels of food cravings and symptoms like afternoon energy crashes or late evening snack attacks. Most Americans eat 10 to 15 grams of fiber per day. But for those assigned a female gender at birth and under 50 years of age, the goal should be at least 25 grams per day. Once you're over 50, the goal lowers slightly to 21 grams. For those assigned a male gender at birth, the target is even higher: 38 grams for those under 50 and 30 grams for those over 50. Obviously, the average of 10 to 15 grams per day radically undershoots the ideal. While the need for eating more fiber is pretty clear-cut, protein can be more of a gray area in terms of public opinion. The recommended dietary allowances stipulate eating at least 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. To figure out your minimum protein intake goal, multiply your body weight in pounds by 0.36. But this is simply the minimum. Most active people need much more. The public health outlook on protein is that most Americans get enough, or even too much. But the issue is that the bulk of this intake is coming from less ideal protein sources, like processed meats or red meats, at the expense of fiber-rich foods like beans, nuts, and seeds. Ideally, I recommend that my active female clients eat about 100 to 130 grams of protein per day to support lean body mass, and that my male clients eat about 150 to 200 grams per day, depending on weight and muscle mass. So why are these nutrients so important, and how do we make sure we're getting enough of them? The importance of protein and fiber. Eating more protein and fiber can make a profound difference in someone's eating behaviors, their relationship with food, their physical health, especially cardiovascular health, and their physique. What protein and fiber have in common is that they are both slow digesting. This means that when you eat a veggie and cheese omelet with a side of oatmeal for breakfast, this meal stays in your stomach longer than, say, a slice of toast would. This physically makes you feel fuller. Literally, mechanically, your stomach keeps its fullness signals longer because it's containing food. But the satisfaction benefits, in dietetics they call this satiety, of protein and fiber go beyond mechanical fullness. It's also related to the fact that slow digesting foods, especially fiber, prevent large blood sugar spikes, which means that you also get to skip the resulting blood sugar crashes. In real-world terms, this means that you don't get on the cravings roller coaster when you eat meals that are well-balanced. You're likely to experience authentic hunger again when it's time for your next meal or snack, not panicked cravings within less than a few hours. Additionally, protein plays a significant role in muscle protein synthesis, the process in which your body builds and maintains muscle mass. This is important at every time of life, but is particularly important for older adults when muscle mass is easily lost. Active people and older individuals should be especially attentive to regular protein intake. This means that eating enough protein and fiber can change your eating behavior as well as your physique, even if each individual meal contains more calories. Let's say you normally have an English muffin with butter for breakfast, and that the whole meal is 200 calories. From a calorie reduction point of view, a 200-calorie breakfast is fantastic, but from a macronutrient and micronutrient point of view, not so much. In an example like this, I frequently recommend that clients have a protein like eggs or a combination of eggs and egg whites for breakfast with the English muffin, and also find a way to add some fiber, like adding a veggie like broccoli to the eggs. This is a much more filling breakfast. There's nothing wrong with the English muffin per se. It's not about what it is. It's more about what it isn't. Even if you end up with a 400-calorie meal instead of a 200-calorie meal, from a calorie reduction point of view, you will likely still be fine because you may be able to trim mindless eating from the rest of your day because now you're not as hungry. To be continued. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled, How Protein and Fiber Will Change Your Body by Rachel Trotta of racheltrotta.com. Business owners know that hiring the right people can be a real challenge. Make it easier with Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform helping over 3 million businesses do it all. Attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates. With Indeed's Instant Match feature, over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates the moment they sponsor a job. I especially love that if you invite these or any candidates of your choosing to apply, they are 3 times more likely to apply to your job than candidates who only see it in search. Start hiring now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/health. Offer good for a limited time. Claim your $75 credit now at Indeed.com/health. Just go to Indeed.com/health and support the show by saying you heard about it on this podcast. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Blazing deals, boundless options. It's Hot Grill Summer at Whole Foods Market from June 14th through July 4th. Fire up the grill with quality cuts at the best prices. We're talking animal welfare certified meat. Check out the sales on bone-in ribeye, beef kebabs, and New York strip steak. Round out your barbecue with plant-based proteins, sliced cheese, soft buns, and all the condiments. Plus, sales on fresh strawberries, peaches, and more. Don't forget the pie either. Get grilling at Whole Foods Market. Terms apply.
Dr. Neal here for my commentary. I want to go back to the daily fiber recommendations today's author Rachel mentioned. Rachel talked about how, as we move past the age of 50, the daily fiber recommendations actually decrease. We might have thought that as we get older, it would be important to increase our daily fiber intake to prevent diseases like, say, colon cancer. Again, on the surface, that would seem to make sense since colon cancer risk increases as we age. But it turns out that the daily fiber recommendations are based on our daily calorie intakes. So it's assumed that as we get older, we consume fewer calories each day. Then, since we consume fewer calories each day, we don't need to consume as much fiber. This is actually a fair assumption, Most studies have found that as we get older, we do tend to eat less. And since we eat less, we do not need as much fiber each day. Now, this is of course just a recommendation. If someone were to consume as much fiber as they did when they were younger and weren't complaining of any digestive issues, I probably wouldn't have a problem with it. But again, for most Americans, we do need to think about increasing our daily fiber intake, no matter what age we are. All right, that should do it for today. Thank you so much for listening every day and sharing the show with others. I'll be back tomorrow to finish up this post, so I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.